Well, the big story of the day was that Donald Trump fired the top general in the United States Army in the middle of Donald Trump's war in Iran that is going so badly that last night Donald Trump officially announced that he is surrendering control of the Strait of Hormuz to Iran. The top general of the United States Army served every day of World War II under two presidents. When firing the top general would have been seen as chaos in the war effort. Presidents who are winning and confidently winning wars do not fire the top general. But today, Donald Trump's utterly incompetent Secretary of Defense demanded the resignation of General Randy George from the position of Army Chief of Staff. And he has asked General George to then immediately retire from the United States Army. That was going to be the top story of the day until Donald Trump decided to fire his second choice for Attorney General Pamela Bondi. And we must always remember she was the second choice. There is a long-running and rarely violated gentleman's agreement in Hollywood, which also has become a gentlewoman's agreement, for movie stars to never publicly talk about the roles they turned down so that other movie stars would never have to suffer the public embarrassment and humiliation of being second choice. No one in Trump world finds that embarrassing. Donald Trump's current wife, for example, finds no shame in being third choice. And Pamela Bondi was honored to be Donald Trump's second choice for Attorney General in his second term after enough Republican United States senators let Donald Trump know that his first choice, Republican Congressman Matt Gaetz, whose only experience with the Justice Department was as the subject of an investigation of possible sex trafficking, could not be confirmed even by a Republican Senate. Who could possibly hold their head high as Donald Trump's second choice to Florida's strangest congressman ever, Matt Gaetz? Answer, Florida's own Pamela Bondi. And so she sailed through her confirmation hearing on a purely partisan vote and settled into her office recently vacated by Joe Biden's Attorney General, who served all 4 years of the Biden presidency, which is the norm for attorneys general, by the way. Bill Clinton had one Attorney General for 8 years of his presidency. If Pamela Bondi had glanced at a list of her predecessors, she would have noticed that Donald Trump, in his first term, went through more attorneys general than any president in history, including Richard Nixon, who had two of his attorneys general convicted of crimes. Donald Trump fired his first two acting attorneys general before his first appointed and confirmed attorney general, Jeff Sessions, was sworn in. No president had ever fired an acting attorney general while waiting for his nominated attorney general to be confirmed by the Senate. And many presidents have been organized enough to have their attorney general confirmed on the job by the first day of the new presidency. Donald Trump became the first president in history to fire his first confirmed attorney general, Jeff Sessions. And Donald Trump's second confirmed attorney general, William Barr, did what Pamela Bondi never had the courage or integrity to do. He quit when Donald Trump tried to engage the attorney general in the criminal conspiracy Donald Trump got indicted for in his plot to overturn the 2020 presidential election. So in his first term, Donald Trump went through 2 confirmed attorneys general and 6 acting attorneys general. And the one attorney general who quit because he would not commit crimes for Donald Trump.
I know the best people. I know the best managers. I know the best deal makers. I know people that will make us so strong. I know guys that are so good.
That was candidate Trump's promise. He would get you the best people in government. And now Donald Trump has fired his first confirmed Attorney General of the second term and elevated his Deputy Attorney General to Acting Attorney General, thereby leaving another gem for historians whose eyes will be widening in libraries around the world forever when they come upon the fact that the Acting Attorney General who took over when this Attorney General was fired was Donald Trump's personal criminal defense lawyer who won Donald Trump 34 guilty verdicts in a criminal trial in Manhattan and served as his criminal defense lawyer in Special Prosecutor Jack Smith's case against Donald Trump for conspiracy against the United States of America in his attempt to overturn the 2020 presidential election, and in a separate criminal case charging Donald Trump with violations of the Espionage Act in his illegal possession of classified documents. The acting Attorney General of the United States tonight, Todd Blanche, has gone from playing a Trump puppet in criminal courtrooms to playing a Trump puppet now tonight in the Attorney General's office. Todd Blanche has already disgraced himself with his friendly questioning, which included an awful lot of laughing, of Jeffrey Epstein's convicted co-conspirator in sex trafficking, Ghislaine Maxwell, after which Ghislaine Maxwell was transferred from a serious federal prison to what a former federal prison official calls a country club. Based on Donald Trump's record, based on the indictments of Donald Trump, based on the Mueller investigation of an obstruction of justice by Donald Trump, based on his continuously deteriorating ethical and mental condition, the one thing we know for sure about Donald Trump's next Attorney General is that that Attorney General will very likely be asked to commit crimes by and for Donald Trump. And anyone asked by Donald Trump to serve as Attorney General must by now know that he or she will probably be asked to commit crimes. And so we are no doubt some weeks away from a Senate confirmation hearing in which our first guest tonight, Senator Sheldon Whitehouse, will be asking Donald Trump's nominee for Attorney General to promise under oath not to commit crimes for the President of the United States. And we know that nothing a Trump nominee says in a Senate confirmation hearing is ever reliable. And so we know the answer to that question will not be believable. Here is how Pamela Bondi knew for sure she was being fired. Yesterday, Donald Trump told the New York Times, quote, "Attorney General Pam Bondi is a wonderful person and she is doing a good job." That's what proved to Pam Bondi she was going to be fired. That was the response the New York Times got from Donald Trump yesterday when the New York Times was working on a story about Donald Trump then considering firing Pam Bondi. When the Attorney General found out that that was Donald Trump's response to the Times, the Attorney General and her staff could sense that her job was, quote, slipping away when Mr. Trump issued only a lukewarm statement when the New York Times requested comment on reporting that she was about to be removed. So if you're a Trump cabinet official and Donald Trump says you're a wonderful person and you're doing a good job, those are the code words for you will be fired tomorrow. Donald Trump achieved minor celebrity working at the bottom of the barrel in so-called reality TV, where his catchphrase was the worst thing you could hear in the workplace. You're fired. People's lives have actually been destroyed by those words in real life. But a sociopath might think that saying those words is entertaining. So Donald Trump fires his Attorney General today in a tweet in which he says, Pam Bondi is a great American patriot and a loyal friend who faithfully served as my Attorney General over the past year. That was it. Just the past tense on the verb serve. That's how Donald Trump announces his firings. And the next sentence begins in utterly nonsensical Trumpian style, saying, Pam did a tremendous job. And so your reward in Trump world for doing a tremendous job is to be fired. Or if you do the job the way Donald Trump hates, he will still publicly lie for you and say you did a tremendous job as he's firing you. That's his new second term style of firing. The only president in history who claimed he had the discerning eye and important relationships in the country that meant he would hire only the best people has fired more people than any president in history. Just 2 weeks ago, Donald Trump became the very first president in history to fire a Secretary of Homeland Security. Donald Trump has become more rhetorically generous in his firing of a confirmed Attorney General in his second term. Here's the way he did it the first time. on November 7th, 2018. We are pleased to announce that Matthew G. Whitaker, Chief of Staff to Attorney General Jeff Sessions at the Department of Justice, will become our new acting Attorney General of the United States. He will serve our country well. We thank Attorney General Jeff Sessions for his service and wish him well. A permanent replacement will be nominated at a later date. That was it. We're pleased to announce, not that Jeff Sessions is fired, we're pleased to announce we have a new Attorney General. Jeff Sessions did not get one of those "did a tremendous job" lines from Donald Trump in Jeff Sessions' frameable "you're fired" tweet. The Atlantic is reporting tonight that Donald Trump is considering other possible firings, including his FBI director, Kashyap Patel. The Atlantic reports Trump had been reluctant to get rid of any of his top lieutenants, viewing firings as a concession to the Democrats and the media. Even in the past few months, there had been an edict that no cabinet official would be removed prior to the midterms, though a series of dismissals were planned for after Election Day, but the president's declining support since he launched the Iran war has changed the political calculus.